Today, mostly sunny afternoon in Denver, the finale of this three-game series for the Rockies and the end of a three-city, nine-game road trip. And the D-backs today, a chance not only to sweep Colorado, but stretch their winning streak to 6 games and get back to 500 for the season before we finally return home tomorrow. It's D-backs baseball on Fox Sports Arizona. Good afternoon from Coors Field. Welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthune, Bob Brenly along the way. This is it, the D-backs and the Rockies, the finale of the three-game series as the Diamondbacks go for the sweep and they go for their 6th consecutive win. Robbie Ray on the mound against Colorado this afternoon.
Yeah, Robbie Ray has a chance to finish a really successful trip through the rotation. He takes Zach Greinke, Shelby Miller, Patrick Corbin, and Ruby De La Rosa. 26 and a third innings combined by those starters. Only 5 earned runs allowed, so chance for Robbie to add to that today.
And the last 4 Diamondback starters versus Colorado have allowed no home runs. Robbie gave up 4 against these Rockies when he faced them April 29th.
Well, hopefully that'll change here today. Very chilly conditions here at Coors Field this afternoon. Temperatures in the low 50s.
Diamondbacks have their red on today. It's a battery of Robbie Ray and Chris, call me Babe Herman. He's back in the starting lineup.
And why not, Babe Herman? You got to give Wellington Castillo a day off from time to time, and Chris Herman has proven a very valuable backup, not only swinging the bat, but his catcher's ERA almost 2 full runs lower than Wellington. Of course, that has a lot to do with who you catch and who you face, but Chris has done a nice job.
It's Robbie Ray for the Diamondbacks and the right-hander Chad Bettis for the Rockies as the D-backs go for the 3-game sweep. First pitch coming up from Colorado.
Arizona Diamondbacks baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by CenturyLink. Switch to CenturyLink Prism TV for an advanced TV experience. Learn more at cprismtv.com. By Jack in the Box. Taste the all-new Double Jack Burger today, only at Jack in the Box. And by your Valley Honda dealers, where you'll get more standard features for less money. Diamondbacks baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Choose Chaz. by Lone Butte Casino. You're in for more winning moments at Lone Butte Casino. And by Cox Gigablast. How will you live the gig life?
A little cool and breezy, but a sunny afternoon here in downtown Denver. We are set for the series finale. It's the Diamondbacks and the Colorado Rockies. First pitch is next on Fox Sports Arizona. Mostly blue skies overhead. Wednesday matinee. Steve Berthew, Bob Renly, Jody Jackson with you from Coors Field in downtown Denver, Colorado. 57 degrees at first pitch. And Chip Hale's D-backs a chance today to return home with a second consecutive series sweep, a 6-game winning streak, and a .500 record for the year.
Yeah, it could turn out to be a really good road trip after a very shaky start down in Miami. Here's how Chip will line them up this afternoon. Gene Segura leading off at shortstop today. Brandon Drury out in right field. Paul Goldschmidt at first base. Jake Lamb at third. Yasmani Tomas out in left field after a 3-hit game last night. Phil Gosselin getting the start at second base. Chris Herman behind the plate. Chris Owings in center, and lefty Robbie Ray on the mound.
And your Arizona fourth starting pitcher for the Rockies, it's Chad Bettis, the 27-year-old right-hander. He is 3-2 in 7 starts, including a win at Chase Field on May the 1st. He has won once and lost once here at Coors, and remarkably has yet to allow a home run in this ballpark this year.
Are you kidding?
I wouldn't kid about that.
How can that happen?
I'm not sure.
We'll have to fix that today.
That's why we turn to you. Chad Bettis coming off a loss in his previous start. That was last Friday against the Giants in San Francisco. 5 runs all earned, 8 hits and 6. And he has been among their most consistent starting pitchers this year. Our eye on defense for the Rockies, brought to you by Nationwide Vision Center.
A couple of changes today for Walt Weiss. He'll have Ryan Rayburn in left field, Charlie Blackmon back in center. Gerardo Parra moves from left to right for this afternoon's ball game. It'll be Nolan Arenado and Trevor Story on the left side of the infield. DJ LeMahieu and Mark Reynolds on the right side, with backup catcher Dustin Garneau doing the catching for right-hander Chad Bettis.
Bill Welke is our plate umpire this afternoon. He has the balls and strikes. Diamondbacks swept 3 in Atlanta. Can they sweep 3 in Colorado before heading back home to face the Giants and the Yankees? Gene Segura, the shortstop today. An off day for Nick Ahmed will lead it off, and we are set to go. Ball 1 underway here. Segura, 350 and now 5 home runs. And one of those Segura homers came off Chad Bettis back on April 5th at Chase Field. That was the 2nd game of the year. 3 balls and no strikes. Another 3-hit game for Gene last night, tied with the Nationals' Daniel Murphy for the major league lead in hits. There's a strike. Segura has hit safely in 8 straight games. Slaps that one fair down the right field line. It's headed for the corner. Parra fishes it out of there. Gene Segura is at it again. He pulls into second with his 8th double. And he has now hit safely in 9 straight.
He's a machine.
That is hit number 50 on the season. He takes the major league lead.
Gene the Machine takes a fastball up and out over the plate like we've seen him do so many times and drives it down into that right field corner for a leadoff double.
Gene the hitting machine.
There you go.
Brandon Drury. Segura going to head for third. The throw from Garneau is in plenty of time. And he's out. Rolled away from the backup catcher, just not far enough away to Segura to get to third.
Pretty nice recovery there by Garneau behind the plate. Segura saw that ball get away, got a good jump at second base. Just a really nice play that time by the Rockies catcher. Nowhere for Gene to go at third base.
So they make the first out of the inning at third base. 1 away, an 0-1 count on Drury. Brandon hitting .303. He's got 6 homers. And he, like Segura, has homered off Chad Bettis this year. That was back at Chase Field on May the 1st. In there for a strike, it's 1-2. Brandon a couple of singles last night. He has started every game on this road trip. He strikes out. First strikeout for Bettis, 2 down. Here comes Paul Goldschmidt.
Cutter away that time from Brandon Drury. You'll see a lot of cutters from Chad Bettis today. Also throws a 2-seamer, a changeup, and an occasional curveball.
Goldie .233, now 7 homers, and one of those home runs came off Chad Bettis back in the 2nd game of the year. His 7th came last night, and it was a titanic blow. Deep left field. 2-0.
Just sucked the air right out of this stadium. I mean, it was a missile to left.
This is chopped back to the mound. Bettis is on it, and they retire Goldie. Robbie Ray coming up next, just underway on a Wednesday matinee at Coors Field. The Rockies home half of the first on the way, and your Arizona Ford starter for the Diamondbacks is the left-hander Robbie Ray. Looking for his second win in his 7th start. He faced the Rockies 2 starts ago at Chase Field and surrendered 4 home runs, the only homers he'd allowed all year. Ryan Rayburn, Nick Hundley, Trevor Story, and Nolan Arenado all took him deep.
Yeah, Robbie actually pitched really well in Miami against the Marlins earlier on this road trip. Victim of a lack of run support, Adam Conley shut the Diamondbacks offense down along with the Marlins bullpen that night.
Charlie Blackmon leads it off for the Rockies. He's at 260 with 1 home run. This is right out to Brandon Drury, right at him, in fact, just shy of the warning track. He's always playing deep out there, and that's the first out. Here is the lineup for Walt Weiss and his Colorado Rockies, who have lost 7 straight here at home.
Charlie Blackmon leading it off out in center field. Trevor Story making his way to the plate. He'll be the shortstop. Nolan Arenado at third. Mark Reynolds at first. Ryan Rayburn getting a start in left field today with DJ LeMahieu at second. Gerardo Parra in right. Dustin Garneau behind the plate, and Chad Bettis, the righty, on the mound.
7 straight losses for the Rockies here at Coors Field. Only the 2nd time in their 22 seasons in this ballpark that that's ever happened. Trevor Story. Looks and a strike, 0-1. Story 269. He's got 11 home runs. He was 0 for 4 last night, 2 hits in the series. That was a pair of RBI doubles on Monday.
You know, the Rockies aren't alone in home struggles as far as the National League West is concerned. Only the Giants are even playing 500 ball at home. They're 10-10. Everybody else in the division under 500 at their home park.
That is weird, wild stuff.
It really is.
Is that just a fluke, you think? Anything to attribute that?
Yeah, I think it's a fluke, a small sample size, whatever else you want to call it. You know, we always used to look at it as an advantage. You get some of these teams from back east in the Midwest where it's very cold this time of year. Bring them out to the West Coast, send them to the beach.
A fly ball to Chris Owings, carrying out to the warning track in deep center. And they retire Story. Our eye on defense for the D-backs is brought to you by Nationwide Vision Centers.
Outfield will be Tomas in left, Owings in center, Drury in right. Things hold true. Tomas should get the next fly ball. Jake Lamb at third, Gene Segura at short today. Phil Gosselin getting the nod at second with Paul Goldschmidt at first. Chris Herman catching, and lefty Robbie Ray on the mound.
2 down for Nolan Arenado. Robbie Ray, 2 outs on 6 pitches so far. But now he'll deal with the National League home run leader. Robbie getting ahead in the count, 0-1. Arenado 308 with those 12 homers. Just missed there. It's a ball and a strike. They've done a good job in this series with Nolan Arenado. He is 1 for 9. That was a single Monday. He went 0 for 4 last night. 1-2. Overshift on the left side of the infield for the Diamondbacks. He reaches out and taps it to Goldie, who's all by himself over there, and nobody's on the bag. Well, he hit it away from the shift, and that'll happen sometimes. Just a little tapper midway between first and second.
And with that shift on as a pitcher, you have to know that I have to get to first base on anything hit to my left. And Robbie Ray just caught spectating on the mound that time. Goldie got to the ball in good shape, just didn't have anybody to throw it to.
So it's a 2-out single, Mark Reynolds.
If they had to call him for mental errors in the box score, that would be a mental error on Robbie Ray right there.
They leave the shift on the left-hand side of the infield for the right-hand hitting Reynolds, who's down 0-1. And in there at 333 with a couple of home runs. But that batting average versus left-hand pitching this year is up closer to 390. The Rockies have all broken out the high socks for this one, trying to change their mojo in their home park. That is the fashion order of the day in the Rocky dugout.
Matt Williams used to call those knock socks. If you've gone a couple of days without a base hit or hitting a ball hard, he'd pull those pants up high, show a lot of sock. He called them his knock socks.
Everybody's got them on. Arenado takes off, pitches inside for a ball. The throw from Herman is in time. They got him. Vic Carapazza, the second base umpire, says he's out.
Ooh.
Arenado not going anywhere, though. Walt Weiss checking with their video people.
Not a great jump by Arenado. And a slow release to second base by Chris Herman.
Bill Gosselin had a foot in front of the bag there.
Yeah, see, for me, this is one of those plays that's nearly impossible for a human being to call correctly at second base. There's just too much going on. The right foot was on the base, then it was off the base. The tag was up on the chest. I mean, there was a brief moment there when the right foot was off and the left knee was not on, and apparently he's out.
He is out. No challenge, no score after one. Inning at Coors Field. Jake Lamb in the cleanup spot will lead it off. The Giga Live high-speed highlights presented by Cox. Bob, last night against Jake, they had the shift on.
Who put that guy there? Even with the shift, it took a couple of diving plays to take base hits away from Jake Lamb in that game last night. One by Story and one by DJ LeMahieu.
Jake at 278, 4 homers. So he was the victim of a big-time hang with him 0 for 5 last night, but should have had at least 2 base hits taken away by the shift. And by all rights, it should have been Jake's 4th straight 2-hit game and his 5th on this road trip. And once again, the shift is on for Lamb.
I'd be shocked if it wasn't. And we know Jake has worked hard on hitting the ball to the opposite field, gets pitches from the middle of the plate away and takes advantage of that exaggerated pull shift. But last night, the pitches he got to hit were right in the middle of the plate. He hit them hard, unfortunately, right into that shift.
3-1 pitch.
We'd have a little more of an enthusiastic crowd here at Coors Field today. As you well know, there was a group of about 20,000 school-age kids here very early today for Science Day at the ballpark.
Yeah, they were here in full voice at the crack of dawn this morning as Lamb strikes out. They did a great thing. It's a Science and Weather Day here.
Sure.
They must have had at least 5,000 kids from schools all over the Denver area, and they did all these cool science experiments, and it was a big success, although there was one point at which the right field grass was on fire.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was fine. No harm done. The kids all seem to enjoy themselves. 2 strikeouts for Bettis. Here's Yasmani Tomas. They were exploding balloons and shooting stuff up into space and doing all kinds of cool things. First pitch swinging, taps it back to the mound. Bettis throws it out. 2 down. Brings up Phil Gosselin. Phil getting to start at second base today. Gene Segura at shortstop. The day off for Nick Ahmed. .261 and a home run for Phil. He had a pinch hit single in Monday's series opener here. The second time in the last few games, in fact, he's delivered with a pinch hit. And there's a strike, 0-1. Did you learn anything from Weather and Science Day?
I learned I never want to be a science teacher.
Well, you have had some teaching experience.
Yeah.
That's hit right to Story at shortstop. That's 5 in a row. Set down by Chad Bettis. Bottom 2 coming up from Colorado. No score.
For the second, a quick first for him. And earlier today, I was talking to Chip Hale about 2 starts last year here for Robbie and the success that he had. He said really that Diamondbacks debut back in May, that was a career-defining outing for Robbie. He said he was coming off a bad outing in Reno. He was really he was pitching on the second game of a doubleheader and was the 26th man that day. But he proved to himself, more than to the club, that he could do it, that he could pitch at this level. And ever since then, of course, Guy's getting that 5th starter position here this year. He just continues to progress.
That's right, Jody. Mark Reynolds, who was up there when Nolan Arenado was thrown out trying to steal, a lead off the second inning. And of course, as Jody was referring to, Robbie Ray made his D-backs debut right here at Coors Field. It was, in fact, almost exactly 1 year ago, May the 6th. And pitched very well in that ball game after coming up for the minors for a spot start. They had a doubleheader. And Robbie went 6 innings in that ball game, gave up only 1 run, 5 hits, struck out 5, and did not have a walk. And he had 8 strikeouts in 5 2/3 in his other game here at Coors Field. That was last August. Again, allowed only 1 run. He's pitched well here. Although it'll be hard to top what we saw in this ballpark, or any ballpark for that matter. Ruby De La Rosa last night, Bob, he was unbelievable.
That was fun to watch. Boy, when you get a premier athlete like that on top of his game, pitching with a lot of confidence, it was fun to watch.
Just upstairs, it's a ball and 2 strikes on Mark Reynolds. Just does get a piece. He got a piece of Chris Herman as well back there.
I think talking about Ruby De La Rosa, the most impressive thing last night was how reliant he was on his slider. A lot of pitchers come into this ballpark and they just scrap their breaking ball completely. Try to get by with a fastball change-up combination, but Ruby threw some real flat sliders early in the game, but eventually found a nice feel for it, and it was a good weapon for him last night.
And a confident Ruby De La Rosa will go a long way for the Diamondbacks. 2-2 now on Reynolds. Diamondbacks keep the shift on. 3 infielders on the left-hand side against Reynolds, with Goslin, the second baseman, way over in the shortstop spot. Reynolds able to lay off that one. It's a full count, 3-2. Some real right-hand power in this lineup, back-to-back for Walt Weiss. He's got Reynolds up now and Rayburn behind him.
Rayburn almost behind home plate, doing a Todd Helton, trying to sneak in there as close to the plate as he can to get a look at Robbie Ray's release point.
Called strike 3. Buckled Reynolds that time for a strikeout for Robbie. Time for your Valley Honda dealers. Key to the game. What do you have?
Well, there's a first time for everything. Diamondbacks have played 51 series in this ballpark and have allowed at least 1 home run in each one of those 51 series.
Now, if memory serves, we have not given up a home run yet.
Your memory is really good.
Well, it's only 2 days old.
Yeah, a chance to come in here and possibly sweep a 3-game series and sneak out of town without the Rockies going deep.
Ryan Rayburn. That from the great Dan Hyatt, who once again is working the stats here for us. Rayburn, 333 and 4 homers. One of those home runs came off Robbie Ray at Chase Field during the last series between these two. And Robbie is quickly ahead 0-2. Diamondbacks starting pitchers against the Rockies in the first 4 games surrendered 13 home runs. They have given up 0 homers in the last 4 games. So they are doing a good job of keeping it in the ballpark against these guys. There's Shelby Miller. He'll get the start Friday at Chase Field against the Giants' Jeff Samardzija. DBacks.com/tickets fans. A big 4-game series coming up. A big homestand against the Giants and Yankees, in fact. As Robbie Ray opens up the second with back-to-back strikeouts. He gets the 2 right-hand power threats there back-to-back.
Good to see a backdoor breaking ball to Reynolds, and then a good back foot slider this time. Rayburn swings right over the top.
Got some great pitching matchups coming up in that Giants series starting tomorrow night. How about Zach Greinke versus Johnny Cueto?
Nice.
That is going to be fun tomorrow night. DBacks.com/tickets. And then Miller and Samardzija Friday. DJ LeMahieu.
Yeah, that game tomorrow night will be worth it just to watch Johnny Cueto freelance out there in his windup. Sometimes he quick pitches, sometimes he does a full Louis Tiant, turn his back on the hitter.
And sometimes he's really good and sometimes he's really not good. Been a little up and down lately, as has Samardzija. There's the strike. Then it's Corbin and Peavy Saturday, Ruby and Matt Cain Sunday, and then the Yankees come into town on Monday. So a nice homestand against some big-time opponents coming up.
I noticed you didn't mention Madison Bumgarner. That's too bad we miss him in that series.
All right then.
All right then.
One and 2. Robbie Ray staying ahead in the count. And he's a strike away from getting the side in order here. LeMahieu with 298. He's got 2 homers. He was 0 for 4 last night.
And you love the pace for Robbie Ray. You know, it was directed at Ruby De La Rosa about improving his pace, get the ball, get back on the rubber, let's go, let's go. But I think Robbie Ray's adopted a little of that too.
Just missed with that one. He also liked the way he's ahead in the count. 30 pitches, 20 strikes to that point. This is just what you're looking for. Just that infield tapper by Arenado, the only hit for the Rockies. Think there's an advantage here for a right-hander or a left-hander in this park, or does it matter?
I don't think it really matters much. I mean, you know, the fence is pretty even all the way around. There's a little bit of a jet stream out to right center, which would aid a left-handed pull hitter or a right-hander that goes the opposite way. But because they've raised the fence, that's taken some of those home runs away.
Goldie hit one off that new fence Monday that would have been a home run.
I think if you throw quality strikes, it doesn't matter which arm you throw with. That's the key to pitching in Coors Field. Avoid the walks and throw quality strikes. Stay out of the middle of the plate.
Full count on DJ LeMahieu. He lost in ball 4. First walk issued by Robbie Ray. That'll bring up Gerardo Parra. And Parra has 4 hits in the series. 3 of them are doubles. 296 and 3 home runs. He is tied for the National League lead in doubles, in this ballpark has been a very good fit for Parra. We have seen him shoot balls the other way down that left field line the entire series so far.
He's been almost exclusively an opposite field hitter in this series against right-handed pitching, so I would imagine against Robbie Ray we'll see more of the same here today. Tomas shading a little bit closer to the left field line than he was in the ball game last night, and Chris Owings several steps over into the gap in left center.
And Gerardo Parra has hit left-hand pitching this year, 343 versus lefties, including a home run. That number is up from just under 240 against lefties last year. Parra and Blackman the only left-handers in the lineup for Walt Weiss against Robbie Ray today. This one is hit out to right field. It's going to reach the wall. LeMahieu on the run. He'll head for third. Stu Cole going to stop him there, and it's another double for Gerardo Parra. That's his 14th double this year.
Just got done saying he's been strictly an opposite field hitter in this series, and he turns around a Robbie Ray pitch, hooks it down toward that right field corner. What a game. Drury does a nice job of playing that ball off the chain link out there in right field. Stu Cole was ready to wave LeMahieu around the bag at third, but a good relay, and they had to stop him instead.
Mike Butcher will pay a visit now. Robbie Ray struck out Reynolds and Rayburn to open up the inning, but he lost LeMahieu a base on balls. The Parra double has put second and third 2 outs for the backup catcher Dustin Garneau. Trying to get out of this inning. Rockies again are without their catcher Nick Hundley. He's on the 15-day DL. Suffered a left oblique strain late last week near his rib cage. So we've seen Tony Walters the first 2 games of this series. Garneau, when Hundley got hurt, was called up from AAA Albuquerque. He's up there with LeMahieu at third, Parra at second and 2 outs. There's a strike, 0-1. Garneau just 5 for 16 so far this year. He has doubled 3 times.
And key point in the ball game right here early on, only the bottom of the second inning, but a couple runners in scoring position. The number 8 hitter at the plate. You do have a base open down there. So if Robbie so chooses, he could try to pitch around Garneau, see if he can get him to chase something out of the zone here. He's already ahead in the count, 0-1.
Make it 0-2.
We talk about it all the time. Fans at home are probably saying, why not just walk this guy and go after the pitcher with 2 outs in the inning? But ideally, you retire Garneau, and then you have the pitcher leading off in the 3rd inning, which is an ideal situation.
He can't hold up. Herman will complete the strikeout. That's 3 strikeouts for Robbie Ray. He strands 2 and keeps it scoreless here at Coors.
into the top half of the third inning. Hey fans, a D-backs home run today means a free jumbo jack tomorrow at participating Jack-in-a-Box locations with the purchase of a large drink.
Diamondbacks trying to get the offense going against right-hander Chad Bettis, who has retired the last 5 he's faced. He'll work to the bottom third of the order here in the third. Chris Herman, Chris Owings, and Robbie Ray, 7, 8, 9. The shift is on for the Rockies against Chris Herman, who looks at strike one. He's in there at 234 and 4 home runs. Chris behind the plate this afternoon. He got the start in right field Monday, went 1 for 5 with an RBI triple. And did a good job out there. His first start in right field in almost 2 years.
He looked really smooth, made all the plays. A couple balls hit right at him, hard on a line. A couple of other times he had to range over into the gap in right center and looked very natural doing it.
And another spot for that bat. Reaches out and lifts that one out to Rayburn in left field. He's got room in front of the track. And make it 6 in a row, retired by Bettis. Chris Owings now. CO has had a nice series, 3 hits, couple of RBIs. He doubled last night. He's at 268.
That double last night had to be particularly satisfying for Chris Owings. They had walked Yasmani Tomas intentionally in front of him. He picked on the first pitch he saw for an RBI double to center field.
CO was 2 for 4 last night.
That's every hitter's dream. When they walk the guy in front of you, even if strategically it's absolutely the right move, everybody always takes it a little bit personally. And then to go up there and make some noise with that bat, it always feels great. So I'm told.
Well, you were the guy that they pitched around to get to the guy behind you.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the way that went, right? That's what I always read in the books. Well, Bettis strikes out Owings, his third strikeout, 2 down. Brings up Robbie Ray. Diamondbacks should be very familiar with Chad Bettis by now. They're already facing him for the 3rd time this year. He pitched the 2nd game of the season at Chase Field, April 5. 5 runs, 7 hits, 5 1/3. He allowed 9 hits in 6 innings in the return bout on May 1st. Didn't walk anybody in that game and got the win. So far today, 30 pitches, 21 strikes. And he strikes out Robbie Ray. That's 4 strikeouts for Bettis, who has retired 8 straight. No score at Coors Field. Colorado, no score, bottom third, and may the force be with the D-backs as they take on the Giants at Star Wars night, fans, coming up on Saturday. And if you arrive early at Chase Field, you'll get the D-backs Star Wars soft style t-shirt. It's courtesy of Cox Communications. Visit dbacks.com, get your tickets, and we'll see you Saturday for Star Wars Day at Chase Field. This is quickly becoming our new favorite mascot race, baby. Let's check in on this toothbrush race, I guess. That is Bristles the toothbrush.
Almost ran over Gene Segura as he came out of that third base dugout.
He got brushed. Toothy the tooth and Fresh the tube of toothpaste. And they race between innings here. It was a big win for Toothy today. That's sponsored by a dental outfit out here, and it's always a highlight.
Not so much for Gene Segura. Who was that? Randall Simon, wasn't it? Up in Milwaukee,
Yeah.
Clubbed one of the racing sausages one day.
He reached out with a bat from the dugout and clocked Kielbasa as they were running by. 1-2. I think it was on the Pirates. There's the strikeout for Robbie. That's 4 now. 1 away in the third. Gene seems to be unharmed after that near-death experience with Bristles the toothbrush.
Yeah, he was just coming up out of the dugout like he always does to take his position and almost got run over by a toothbrush.
Well, what are the odds? Toothy went on for the big win, as we have said. Charlie Blackmon lined out to right field at his first at bat. Blackmon has 2 hits in the series, both singles. He's hit safely in 8 straight games. Well, it's always important to practice good dental hygiene on a ball field and off.
Yeah. I'm a little surprised, however, there's no racing floss.
That's high and deep, right field, headed for that new fence. And it's over the new fence. A home run for Blackmon, his second of the season, and it's 1-0 Rockies. That's the fence that they raised right in front of the bullpens to keep more of those balls in the yard, but that one cleared it easily.
They didn't raise them enough. Boy, that was solid contact that time by Blackmon. Got a breaking ball up over the inside part of the plate. Hitting coaches call that a fence-high slider, and he belted it out of here into the Rockies bullpen in right center field.
That is career hit number 500 for Charlie Blackmon, and it's 1-0 Rockies. Just the 5th home run given up this year by Robbie Ray, all against Colorado. Trevor Story now. You know, the Nationals, they're always adding presidents. They got like 6 of them now. You think you could add some floss, some mouthwash, something?
Absolutely. Gotta let that one go. Really the first errant pitch we've seen Robbie throw in this ball game today. A slider that just didn't do too much, kind of hung over that inside part of the plate.
Base hit for Story. Knocks it the other way into right field. That's his 3rd hit in the series. Nolan Arenado. The shift was on last time. Arenado hit it toward the first base side. Goldie was there, but he was the only one there, and Arenado reached.
An even bigger hole on the right side for this at bat for Nolan Arenado. Goldie forced to hold on Trevor Story over there at first base. A lot of room on that right side.
Arenado 2 hits in the series, both singles. There's strike 1. He rises to the occasion. Herman can't find it. Story stays put at first.
We've seen that happen a number of times this season to catchers all around baseball. That pitch in the dirt that you block and you're not quite sure where it is. Guys in your own bench try to help you. It's right there. It's right there. Well, that doesn't really help. Right where?
There always is that momentary look of panic on the catcher. It's remarkable. That's got to be the worst fear.
It's right there.
Where is there exactly? Plus, Arenado's not helping. He's just standing there. A ball and a strike. Story takes off for second. Low pitch, and Herman falls over. Trying to plant and throw. A stolen base for Trevor Story, his third this year.
Another pitch in the dirt. Chris Herman picks it cleanly out of the dirt, but then in an effort to drag that right foot over behind the left one and get off a throw to second base, his cleats got caught in that dirt behind home plate.
He's at second, a 2-1 count on Arenado. Gosselin, the second baseman, right behind the runner. Play is on, but nobody's home. What we talked about earlier, Bob, Robbie Ray was in a nice rhythm. He had that nice quick pace going. This thing has just come to a halt here. He's behind now, 3 balls and a strike.
And all of a sudden everything is in the dirt. Good idea to try to keep the ball down on Nolan Arenado, but low strikes are much more preferable than pitches bouncing in the dirt.
Gosselin's the second baseman right behind Story. There's another one that misses. Second walk issued by Robbie Ray. Well, he struck out Bettis to open up the inning, then Blackman homered. Story singled, stole second. Now a walk to Arenado brings up Mark Reynolds, who struck out looking his first time up. Got Story at second, Arenado at first. Having trouble finding the strike zone now, behind 1-0. Base hit. Stu Cole will wave Story home. Here's the throw from Brandon Drury, and it is not in time. 2-0 Rockies. Drury made that close, but Story snuck in there.
Unfortunately, that's a byproduct of playing deep in the outfield. Brandon Drury, a long throw from deep right field on a hop. Just too much time had elapsed. Story's able to get on the plate.
4 straight have reached for the Rockies. That'll bring Mike Butcher back out to the mound.
Difference in this inning is falling behind in the count. When Robbie Ray was attacking in those first 2 innings, jumping ahead 0-1, it had really opened up both sides of the plate, got the Rockies to chase some bad pitches. But this inning, falling behind hitters and seeing more aggressive swings from the Rockies hitters.
Rayburn, a strikeout victim his first time. Now 5 hits for the Rockies. Arenado at third, Reynolds at first, still just 1 out. Ball 1. Ryan Rayburn brought to Colorado for his right-hand power, and he's already homered 3 times this year against left-hand pitching. Just under .390 versus lefties. And he's ahead 2-0.
Another hitter's count right here. And Ryan Rayburn will take an aggressive cut if Robbie Ray throws him something to his liking.
Whoa. Everybody ducking that Colorado dugout. Might have hit Charlie Blackmon in the beard.
You can't hurt that beard.
Well, the Rockies in this ball game so far, the first time through the order against Robbie Ray. Just 2 hits and no runs, but now halfway through the second time through the order against him. 3 for 3. They have scored twice. A homer, a single, and a walk. 2 singles and a walk. 2-2. Robbie really working now. 60 pitches, 37 strikes. Suffered his first loss this season against these Rockies at the end of April at Chase Field. That was only 2 starts ago. 5 runs on 7 hits. He lasted only 4 innings, gave up 4 home runs. This is a sky-high pop-up for Goldie. 2 down. That'll bring up DJ LeMahieu. Got a base on balls in his first plate appearance.
LeMahieu pulled a Goldie in his first plate appearance, fell behind 0-2 and ended up drawing a walk. They ought to just name that after him.
The Goldie? Yeah, I should.
Yeah, leads the league in Goldies. 0-2 to a walk.
Goldie's got EY Sr. back there, bending his ear again. Ball 1. There's Eric Young, coaching at first, former Diamondback coach. Rocky great here. They love EY here. Goes back to the Mile High days. 2-0.
You had all those thumpers, all those home run hitters, the Blake Street Bombers, but in the middle of it, you had EY. A lot of energy, stealing bases,
Plays
talking
out.
all the time.
Outfield, second base.
Yeah.
His son Dallas is turning out to be a acting sensation. A child actor now. Has been getting booked all over Hollywood. That's hit hard but foul. And EY always tells Goldie, you're Dallas's favorite player. He loves Goldie. Dallas would walk through the Diamondback clubhouse when he was just a little guy and sit down and talk baseball with all the Diamondback players. He's got his dad's gift of gab. That's in there for a strike, and it's even 2-2. And he strikes out LeMahieu with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. His 5th strikeout, but the Rockies take a 2-0 lead.
is going to lead it off for the D-backs here in the fourth. Anytime the Diamondbacks score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
Gene Segura leads off the fourth inning against Chad Bettis, who has retired the last 8 Diamondbacks he has faced, and he's now got a 2-0 lead. Segura doubled his first time up, now leading the major leagues in hits. But he's down, no balls and 2 strikes. Boy, they had that race, BB, that they always have, where they send the poor guy out on the left field warning track, and he's got on a dead run, change second base and then cross the first base line. And this guy was a disaster. Story kicks that one, recovers in time to get Segura. Now check this out. You got 20 seconds to run from way out there in Coors Field, the left field warning track. You got to put second base in the slot and then cross the first base line, all in 20 seconds. And this guy never made it past second.
Yeah, this is the hard part. Just getting that peg to fit in that hole in the ground, it just wouldn't cooperate.
And right about there is where time expired and he was toast. I'm telling you, 20 seconds, I don't think you could even run from there in 20 seconds, let alone change the base.
Yeah, the guy that won, was it last night? He won last night. He was an athlete. I mean, he came sprinting in from that warning track in left field, had no problems with the base, and easily crossed the first base line, but that's the exception to the rule.
A bouncer to shortstop. Story one more time. Throws out Brandon Drury. That's 10 straight set down by Bettis following the Segura leadoff double.
First baseman, number 44, Paul Goldschmidt.
Goldie now. Tap back to the mound his first time up. And 2. Goldie 3 hits in this series, including his home run last night and a double that would have been a home run last year, coming off that new fencing in right center. That was Monday. And so after going through a 13-game stretch during which he had only 1 RBI, Goldie has now driven in a run in each of the first 2 games of this series. 2-2.
For years, this has been a ballpark where a lot of hitters go to get healthy, and Paul Goldschmidt has hit the ball hard in this series.
He did not go, says DJ Rayburn down there, and Goldie once again has worked it back full 3-2.
Look at that, 31 walks after an 0-2 count going back to the 2011 season.
And that's not even counting the times he gets it to 3-2 and gets a hit or is retired or whatever. Called strike 3. Well, Bettis has got 5 strikeouts. He's retired 11 straight and leads it 2-0. With us in Denver, Diamondbacks trail at 2-0, and you can follow Diamondbacks baseball fans live with the MLB.com at Bat app. You can stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live game video, highlights, StatCast, news, the whole thing. Just download the MLB.com at Bat app, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet. Got the Cardinals hat going too. That's the first pitch strike for Robbie Ray. Robbie entered the game today throwing first pitch strikes only about 50% of the time, which was the 8th lowest margin in all of baseball. Now he's right at 50% again here today. He was ahead in the count most of the time early, but really struggled in that third. Parra doubled his first time up. Back up the middle, another base hit for Parra. He's 2 for 2. That is his 6th hit in this series. He is really swinging the bat well right now.
You know, we talked about his opposite field hits in the first 2 games of this series. They were all struck well, hit right off the barrel of the bat, but it looked like he was intentionally trying to go to left field. Today, pulled one down the right field line, his first at bat, and sends this one right back up the middle.
Dustin Garneau, the catcher. Strikeout victim his first time up. That ended the second. Robbie Ray had 2 on and 2 out, runners on second and third, and he struck out Garneau to end the threat. But then a bumpy third. He struck out Chad Bettis, the pitcher, to lead it off. Blackman homered. Story singled, stole second. Arenado walked. Reynolds singled. And the Rockies have out-hit the Diamondbacks 6-1. They lead it 2-0.
Ooh, nice play that time by Goldie, coming off the bag on that errant pickoff attempt. Had to avoid Parra sliding back into the base and reach far out to his right to catch that one.
Pitch is upstairs for ball 1. Again, Robbie falling behind in the count. About to throw pitch number 70 here, and still looking for his first out in the 4th. They really like what Gerardo Parra has brought to this Rockies ball club. Walt Weiss very happy about the addition and the fit. He says Parra is high energy, live wire. He brings that to the game, and he's a pretty complete player who does everything well. Diamondback fans know that. This is a slow roller in the hole. Jake Lamb kicks it. Shovel pass is not in time. It rolled away from Jake, too far away to get Parra at second.
That's not going to make Chip Hale happy. He was really upset after game 1 of this series. Even though the Diamondbacks won the ball game, he wasn't very happy with the sloppy defense he saw. Not so sure they could have turned 2 right there, but at least you get the force out at second if Jake's able to handle it cleanly.
Now Robbie Ray, 70 pitches, 44 strikes. First and second, nobody out for the pitcher Bettis. E5. The error charge to Jake Lamb puts Parra at second and Garneau at first. And now Jake will kitty corner at third. Goldie in on the grass at first.
Ideally, Robbie Ray bounces off that mound to the third base side of the field and takes any bunts in that direction, allowing Jake to go back to the bag in case they can get a force play at third on Gerardo Parra.
One 1-0 on Bettis, who struck out his first time.
He's trying to get picked off out there at second base.
Well,
Gerardo Parra that time had a little bit of a walking lead and broke about 3 steps toward third base. Right there, if that ball gets through and Bettis doesn't get a piece of it, he's going to be picked off second base right there. Chris Herman was coming out of his crouch ready to fire to second base, but Bettis fouled the ball off.
base running judgment is not his forte.
No.
But he's fun to watch. Gets the bunt down. Chris Herman has it. He's got one play. The runners advance. Brings up Charlie Blackmon, who homered his last time up, his second of the year. Over that new fence in right center that was moved from 8 feet to 16 feet, but he cleared it anyway. And chain link fence out in front of the bullpen. Infield will creep in for the D-backs. Second and third, one out. Blackmon 1 for 2. Broken bat, roller foul. Charlie Blackmon earlier this month had a batting average that was down to about 209, but during his 8-game hitting streak coming into today, he has raised that average for the season by more than 50 points. 10 hits during the streak, 3 doubles, a home run, and now he's added 1 more home run here today. He has really picked it up after a slow start.
And we saw something from Charlie Blackmon in the ball game last night that you rarely get to see. He struck out. Only his 10th punch out of the year. Robbie Ray could sure use one right now.
One and one. And Blackmon hits lefties. Last season he hit .264 against left-handers, including 3 home runs. And he homered off Robbie in the third. Oh, broken bat, bloop, that's going to drop in. Parra scores, they'll wave Garneau. He will score, and it's 4-0 Rockies. Blackmon has knocked in 3.
Guy that hit a ball into the Rockies bullpen in his last at bat gets jammed badly here and hits one about 150 feet out there into shallow right field with the infield drawn in. No chance for a Diamondback to get under that one.
Now 7 hits for the Rockies. Still only 1 out in the inning. Story singled, stole a base, and scored a run his last time up. This one for Robbie Ray looking very similar to his last start against the Rockies. That was 2 starts ago at Chase Field when he really labored through 89 pitches in 4 innings. And he's almost there now. Oh, and 2. The strikes out Story, who leads the league in strikeouts. That's 6 for Robbie. 2 down in the 4th.
Appeared to be all fastballs that time by Robbie Ray. We've talked about Trevor Story throughout this series. Really good breaking ball hitter in the strike zone. Good cripple fastball hitter when he has the count in his favor, but really has trouble catching up to a lot of heaters.
Nolan Arenado has singled and walked. Diamondbacks have got to get their own offense going. You think, okay, 4-0 lead at Coors Field, no big deal. Well, Chad Bettis has given up only 1 hit. That was Segura's leadoff double. Ever since then, he's retired 11 straight. This is a sky-high pop-up along the right field line. Long run for Goldie, looking backwards over his head, and it drops in a fair ball. Blackman will come in and score, and it's 5-0. It dropped just on the wrong side of that line for the Diamondbacks. Goldie on a dead run trying to make a Willie Mays catch there.
Now, this is one instance where the pull shift hurts you because the second baseman not involved in that play probably would have had the best chance coming from a straightaway position at second base, but as it is, only Goldie and Brandon Drury had an opportunity. Tough play.
I mean, the broken bat bloop for Blackman that scored 2, and then that dink and dunk shot by Arenado that just landed a couple of inches fair for another run. Robbie's had his own problems, so he's not getting a whole lot of luck here. And he's down 5-0. Reynolds now. RBI single his last time up. Rockies with 2 in the 3rd, now 3 in the 4th. One and two. Struck him out. That's 7 strikeouts for Robbie Ray, but Colorado tacks on 3 more. They lead at 5-0.
Offensively, trailing the Rockies 5-0 as we head to the top half of the fifth. When the D-backs win, you win at Papa John's. The day after every Diamondbacks win, you get 50% off your regular menu price online order at Papa John's. Enter promo code DBACKS50 at papajohns.com.
Well, the D-backs will get to work now on trying to solve the mystery of right-hander Chad Bettis, who has retired the last 11 he's faced. He's got 5 strikeouts and now a 5-0 lead. Jake Lamb, Yasmani Tomas, Phil Gosselin, 4, 5, and 6 in the Arizona fifth. That one bit him in the foot.
You see, he has that protective guard on the inside of the right leg. And of course, it hits above it.
Shin bone connected to the leg bone.
Ouch.
That'll feel real good on the flight.
Well, he'll still be feeling that 40 years from now.
That sounds like the voice of experience.
My very first spring training with the Toronto Blue Jays, my only spring training with the Blue Jays, my first swing of batting practice against Dwayne Ward.
This is out to Rayburn in left.
Dwayne Ward was a relief pitcher, right-hander with a nasty, heavy mid-90s sinker. The very first pitch in batting practice, I fouled off my left ankle. I still have a soft spot.
I bet you really miss Exhibition Stadium.
You know, it was fun in its own way. It was like, you know, playing at a playhouse or something. The field was crowned for football, so it's kind of hard to describe, but if you could picture a football field running from the third baseline out to the right field wall, well, it was crowned so the water would run off either side, which meant onto the first baseline or out into left center and left field. If you sat in the first base dugout, you could only see the left fielder from the middle of his chest up.
It's like he's underground. Home field of the Toronto Argonauts of the Canadian League.
You hit a ground ball through the right side and it would start to roll up that hill and then turn and head right for the foul line. You had to play all the angles there.
You can still see video of that first ever game there. I think it was 1977 against the White Sox at Exhibition Stadium on YouTube, where they were shoveling the field. It was covered with snow, and Ralph Garr is out there shoveling, and Bob Baylor and guys like that. 2-2 on Yasmani Tomas.
I saw what might have been the longest home run I've ever seen hit in that ballpark. Now, I'm sure it was just the depth perception because there was nothing behind the right field fence.
Yeah.
Nothing.
It was the rest of the football field, wasn't it?
Well, I don't know what it was, but if you hit a ball over the right field fence and the lights were right there at the fence, it would just disappear into the night.
Base hit for Tomas. That snaps Bettis' streak of 12 in a row retired. Just the second hit for the Diamondbacks.
And a very young Fred McGriff playing first base that night at Exhibition Stadium hit one over the light tower in right field and it just disappeared into the night. It may still be going for all we know.
It vaporized.
It did.
The crime dog, Phil Gosselin. Squares to bunt, bunting for a base hit. He's got Arenado back there, and he's got no play. Beautifully executed by Phil Gosselin, a bunt single.
Nice.
Trying to waking up this offense. 2 on, 1 out now for Chris Herman.
Yeah, trailing by 5. You need a lot of base runners to get back into this game, and Phil Gosselin took a look up, saw Arenado was giving him a lot of room. Bettis kind of falls off to the first base side on the mound. Perfectly executed bunt base hit.
Let's see if Chris Herman can get into one here. He flied out to left his first time up. Tomas at second, Gosselin at first.
You know me, partner. I'm a big fan of the flip down shades. I've never seen white ones though. Wow.
Well, those are cool.
Those are gold glove flip downs right there.
Got the eye black, the flip downs. That's a ball player right there. That is some look.
And this is the kind of day that's perfectly suited for those flip down shades. Clouds rolling in. Occasionally it's a little dark in here, and then the sun will pop through and it's really bright.
Those flip downs, you don't see too many, let alone those cool white and purple ones. Well, Chris Herman had a tough start with the Diamondbacks. We've talked about that 1 for 20 beginning, how down he was about that. But since then, boy, the bat has come alive, hitting .370, 4 homers, 11 RBIs in 9 games. 6 of those have been starts.
Well, that's something the Diamondbacks really needed. Some left-handed offense. We know the Diamondbacks are a right-handed heavy team, and David Peralta, Jake Lamb are forced to carry most of the load as the left-handed hitters in this lineup. But if Chris Herman can continue to swing the bat and play multiple positions, that'd be a big assist to the offense.
And he strikes out Herman. Well, the sun just came out, the cloud cover moving over our heads. He hasn't flipped them down yet, but suddenly it's bright and sunny out there. 6 strikeouts for Bettis, 2 outs now in the inning, and here's Chris Owings. I guess if you have the eye black, you don't need to flip them down until you have to look up.
Yeah, usually that's the purpose of the flip downs. They want regular vision on ground balls and throws around the infield, but if the ball's popped up in the air where the sun might be a factor, you just flip them down.
Hence the name.
Yeah. I think a lot of players stopped wearing the flip down glasses because they're uncomfortable. I mean, you got the strap going across the back of your hat right there, and it kind of pulls that nose piece really tight against your forehead. And it has to, because when you go to flip them down, they just fly right off your face if you didn't have them secured.
Well, you got that strap back there. This is headed for the right field corner out of play. I mean, you got to have your hat just right. Then you can't touch the hat, I imagine, or that'll mess up your strap back there. Now Reynolds got his on top of his cap, which I know is a big faux pas.
Yeah. What good does it do? What good does it do? You hit a pop-up up into the sun. You don't have time to pull your glasses off the top of your hat and put them on.
Fair point.
I think that's more an endorsement thing.
Well, hey, you know, check comes every year. You like it. 60 pitches for Bettis, 43 strikes. He has been really good today. 0-2 on Chris Owings. Missed away. Well, this guy is the epitome of your little bulldog right-hander, Chad Bettis. He battles. 90s middling type fastball, but he's got that cutter. He'll spot it. Doesn't give up homers, keeps it in the yard, works quickly. Curveball slider to mix things up on. He's got that, and there it is right there. That really slow curveball comes in mid-60s. So if you're throwing a 90-mile-an-hour fastball and you got a 65-mile-an-hour curveball that you can throw for strikes, that's a nice combination.
Absolutely. Yeah, Bettis, one of those guys that if you went to a tryout camp, you might not even catch your eye. You know, scouts are looking for guys that can light up the radar gun or have a knee buckling breaking pitch.
2-2. Well, it's funny, he was a second-round pick out of Texas Tech, and 2 seasons ago he was a middling relief pitcher. His ERA was over 9, and he admits he was worried. He didn't know what the next step was going to be, but they overhauled him. Steve Foster, the pitching coach here, he said that Bettis had a sense that he was broken, and by that he meant in spirit. He was really down and willing to learn, and they kind of fixed him because he needed to know why he was getting hit so hard. So they showed him, you're moving a little too quickly through your windup. You throw strikes, mix things up. You need a curveball and a slider to go with that, and the package has worked out. Just inside there, and CO has pulled a Goldie. He went from 0-2 to 3-2. Pitcher Robbie Ray on deck. Tomas at second, Goslin at first. 2 outs. They'll be off of the pitch here. 3-2 to Chris Owings. There go the runners. Called strike 3. 7 strikeouts for Bettis. He strands 2 and keeps it 5-0 Rockies.
High City, and we feel about a mile high here at Coors Field. Our Cricket Wireless something to smile about is this rooftop location. What a great day for it. Sun coming out. It was a little chilly earlier. And I gotta tell you, a lot of Diamondbacks fans kind of milling around up here. A lot of them are, of course, down by the dugout area, but if you come to visit here, be sure to check it out. This is the 3rd season for this rooftop spot, and I've been up here, guys, you know, in the evening and more in July, August, it's a little warmer, but right now in the daytime here, it is more crowded than I've ever seen it, honestly. So great views of the mountains for sure, and really a great view of the field too.
Great spot up there. Jody has her Jackie Onassis sunglasses on, I noticed. It's a good look.
Yeah, I noticed there was a considerable crowd up there today, more so than we saw in the first 2 night games. Of course, it was very chilly and a little damp last night, but a big crowd up there today.
Yeah, the Rockies did a wonderful job with that area up there. And we talked about this the other day. That was just dead space, empty seats. Nobody bought them. They were up too high. They ripped them all out. They built this wonderful social area, restaurant, bar, lounge. They got a DJ up there and all that counter space where you can just stand there and look out over the views and see downtown Denver. You can see the whole field, and I've been up there a couple of times, and man, you are way up there.
A mile. Yeah, you're up there a mile.
And you feel like it too. It's a little hairy. If you're not a great heights guy, I'm not a huge fan of heights myself, but that's pretty high. Jody is undaunted, however, in the Jackie O shades. Rayburn has struck out, popped up 0 for 2. Robbie Ray has labored here today. So far, 5 runs, 8 hits. He's got 7 strikeouts. He's walked only 2. 90 pitches and 58 strikes. Bullpen to this point quiet for the Diamondbacks. And so far against Chad Bettis have been able to put together only 3 hits.
Talked about coming into Coors Field, and now back in the day, and even to this day, a lot of teams choose to add a relief pitcher coming in here knowing you're going to need a lot of relief help, but the Diamondbacks have been very efficient with their starters. They've only needed 4 2/3 innings out of the bullpen so far in this series.
8 strikeouts for Robbie. He gets Rayburn to chase the 3-2 pitch. Well, Archie Bradley, Bob, did a great job of punching and counter punching Monday, and Archie hung in there and worked 6 innings, and of course Ruby was sensational last night. DJ LeMahieu has walked and struck out. Jake Lamb was telling Jody, in fact, after that ball game Monday, that he's played with Archie Bradley for years now. That's the best he's ever seen Archie, and he should know they're roommates in the spring. 1-1.
Every manager's nightmare coming into Coors Field is having your starting pitcher get blown up early in the game 1 of the series. Having to use 4, 5, 6 pitchers out of that bullpen to get through game 1 of a series, and knowing you have 2 more to go and might need a bunch more bullpen. So the way the starters performed in this first 2 games of this series for Chip Hale, just what the doctor ordered. Use the bullpen the way you want to, not the way you need to.
Robbie's fallen behind on LeMahieu now. 3 balls and 1 strike. Robbie's got 8 strikeouts. That has tied his career high. He's done it 8 times. Count is full, 3-2. So on a day where he's labored to get through 4, he's gone to 3-2 in the first 2 batters of the 5th. Mara will be next. He has doubled, singled, scored a run. 3-2 to DJ LeMahieu.
occasionally, especially in 2-strike counts, LeMahieu looks like he's getting knocked right out of the batter's box.
Like falls over?
Yeah, you know, good fastballs up and in. He's got that inside-out approach on every pitch anyway, but it looks like it almost knocks him out of the batter's box.
Robbie, 100 pitches through 4 1/3, and we're going to keep going here.
I was coaching with the San Francisco Giants as you see Evan Marshall beginning to throw for the Diamondbacks. We had a center fielder by the name of Darren Lewis, who reminds me a lot of DJ LeMahieu in that inside-out approach. Lead with the hands, lead with the knob of the bat, let the barrel drag behind a little bit, and try to hit the ball to the opposite field.
Well, that old bugaboo for Robbie Ray, trying to put guys away with 2 strikes. Foul ball, foul ball, foul ball. That's happening again here with DJ LeMahieu. 102 pitches, 66 strikes for Robbie. And Evan Marshall is busy. Found a D-backs fan here with us. I ran into 2 D-backs fans today from Australia. They were up here from Sydney to follow the Diamondbacks.
How about that?
They've been at every game in this series, and they will be at 3 of the Giants games and 3 Yankee games at Chase Field. They're flying from here to Phoenix.
Good day.
Yeah, they're excited. They have the accents, the whole thing. And there's the strikeout for Robbie Ray. That's a new career high, 9 strikeouts for Robbie. He has struck out the last 3 Rockies he's faced. Well, here's Gerardo Parra, and he has been a pain in the neck. A double and a single. He's 2 for 2. And in 8 games against the Diamondbacks coming into today, he had hit over 360, 9 extra base hits, 8 doubles and a home run. And so he continues to torture one of his former teams. Parra came into the game already hitting better than 340 versus left-hand pitching this year, and so far against Robbie Ray, he's 2 for 2. A roller through the hole. He shoots it the other way, make it 3 for 3. This ballpark is proving to be a nice fit for Gerardo Parra.
One thing about Parra, and we know this from watching him as a member of the Diamondbacks, he's a guy that very nearly refuses to take a walk. He only has 2 base on balls on the season. He'll chase anything once you get ahead of him in the count, but today the things he's chasing are finding holes.
Yeah, he has been more aggressive than ever, in fact, swinging at more pitches than ever before in his career. Dustin Garneau. Now 9 hits for the Rockies. Dustin Garneau's a guy, 7 seasons in the minor leagues at the start of this season. 28 years old. He'll be 29 in August. And his first big league experience came last year. He had 70 at-bats with the Rockies. So he has really hung in on that minor league road. Called up for the first time near the end of August last year and had a double off Max Scherzer in his first major league at-bat. But called up again this year when they lost Nick Hundley to an oblique injury. I always like guys like that, you know, 28, 29-year-old rookies. They've been in 7, 8 years on the buses, the whole thing.
It seems like it happens more often to catchers than any other position.
I was thinking that too. Yeah.
You know, you hang around the minor leagues long enough, you catch a variety of different pitchers. You have a variety of different managers and pitching coaches, and you you kind of learn your craft of calling a game and getting your pitcher through a ball game, working his way through that opposing lineup. That becomes a very valuable skill, whether it gets you to the big leagues or helps you teach the younger catchers coming up through the system. I think that's why they like to keep those guys around.
Plus, you need 1 million catchers during spring training.
Yeah, that too.
In every team, it seems. I mean, look at the Diamondbacks the last few years. Every team looking for catcher depth. You can never have too many in your system. Diamondbacks, in fact, ran out last year. Had to go get Wellington Castillo and Jared Saltalamacchia. That's worked out well. They added Chris Herman in the offseason. 3-0 strike is in there. Chip Hale, I'm sure, would really like to see Robbie Ray get through this inning. The pitcher spot due to lead off the 6th for the Diamondbacks. Another walk. He walked Garneau, the 8th place hitter, his 3rd walk. That'll bring up the pitcher Bettis, and that's going to be it for Robbie Ray. He's going to have to make a double switch now.
Pitcher spot due to lead off for the Diamondbacks in the next inning, so Chip's going to have to make a double switch here.
Well, another frustrating outing for Robbie Ray. There's so much potential here. A young lefty who throws mid-90s. He had a career-high 9 strikeouts, but he leaves here trailing 5-0 after only 4 2/3. Back after this.
Game with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Diamondbacks trail the Rockies 5-0. Hey, beginning tomorrow, Diamondbacks baseball will be televised in Spanish on Fox Sports Arizona Plus. Presented by your Valley Honda dealers and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. To find the channel listings and the 25-game schedule, visit foxsportsarizona.com.
Changes for the Diamondbacks. Evan Marshall just recalled from AAA Reno on Tuesday. His 6th appearance with the D-backs this year and his 1st since April 24th. That's your Arizona Federal Credit Union pitching change. Bill Goslin comes out of the game. Gene Segura moves from shortstop to second base, and Nick Ahmed takes over at short. Ahmed will hit 9th. Pitcher spot is now 6th in the Diamondback order as the pitcher Chad Bettis steps in. Two outs. Gerardo Parra is the runner at second. Dustin Garneau at first. Got to be frustrated for Robbie Ray. I mean, you look at the pitch count, and obviously that's too many pitches, but he had a career-high 9 strikeouts, and he had some really bad luck. I mean, the Rockies scored 3 runs on bloops and bleeders, and it should be all right to be about 2-3-0 at the most here. Charlie Blackmon had a broken bat bloop single that scored 2. Arenado hit a pop-up along the right field line that dropped in to no man's land, about 2 inches fair to score another run. So the baseball gods didn't do Robbie any favors today either.
It's all. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt there, partner. I was just going to say it's almost as if the Diamondbacks middle infielders are trying to bait Parr into stealing third base. Look how widely they're split there. Gene Segura shading over toward the hole between first and second. Nick Ahmed very deep at shortstop, almost trying to tempt him into stealing third base.
I imagine making the final out of the inning at third base with a pitcher up would be just about the worst thing you could possibly do. Which is just why he might try it.
Yeah, you might be able to get away with it given the fact you've got 3 hits in the game already, but yeah, that would be a definite no-no.
Runners in motion on the 3-2 pitch with 2 outs, and Marshall comes in and puts out the fire. We head to the 6th. Diamondbacks down 5-0.
As we head to the top half of the 6th inning, it's time to take a look back at baseball history, brought to you by Geico. This is one of my favorites. I use this one every year. Back in 1993, playing for the Pittsburgh Pirates, Jay Bell grounded out to Phillies shortstop Juan Bell, and the umpire at first base was Wally Bell. Bells ringing everywhere that day. It'll be the number 9 hitter Nick Ahmed, who came in as part of the double switch when Evan Marshall entered the ball game. Nick will lead it off, followed by the top of the order, Gene Segura, Brandon Drury, and hopefully many others.
Time to wake up the offense. They've been out hit 9-3. They trail at 5-0, and here is Nick. 168 and 3 homers. Sends this one deep out to right field. Parr is going to play it off the wall, and it carries off the out-of-town scoreboard. Ahmed going to have to hustle, and he is in there. Nick Ahmed, a leadoff double. Well, that'll get things started. You never know what kind of carom you're going to get off those fences out there.
You're never quite sure. That was Larry Walker like that time by Gerardo Parra. Played that carom perfectly and fired a strike back into second base. Nick picking on a high fastball. First pitch he sees, driving it out there to the opposite field, and this one comes right to Parra's bare hand. Gets off that strong throw to second base. Very close.
They're looking into the Rocky dugout. Walt Weiss waves them off, so that's no challenge from Colorado. Brings up Gene Segura. Well, Parr's a 2-time Gold Glover. He knows what he's doing out there. Segura doubled to lead off the ball game. He's 1 for 2. He's now hit safely in 9 straight games, leading the major leagues in hits with 50 already in game number 36. Along the right right field line. Foul ground for Reynolds. Looking up into the clouds. He's got it. Ahmed will tag. Oh, he's going to put the brakes on. There's nobody at second base, so he's fine. They had him. Story had the baseball, but there was no one on the bag.
That's a heads-up base running play by Nick right there. I've mentioned it many times. Anytime there's a ball hit into foul territory as a runner, go back and tag up. And Nick saw that the second baseman was out there in right field. The shortstop was in the middle of the infield as a cutoff man, so there was nobody at second base. Good time to go back and tag and see if you can force Reynolds to make a bad throw.
Brandon Drury 0 for 2. He has struck out, grounded out. Brandon has started every game on this road trip so far, 10 hits. And there in right field, no David Peralta again today. And that pain in David's right wrist seems to be a growing concern. He'll be examined first thing in the morning tomorrow by Dr. Sheridan. He was hit by pitches twice on the right forearm, and that discomfort has worked its way into his wrist somehow to the point where he has altered his swing mechanics. And David said the wrist has been getting to the point that it's bothering him a lot. He feels a little weak in his hand, and he says he just knows something is not right. And that does not sound great. And so they'll get him checked out first thing in the morning tomorrow. And if they do have to disable David, hopefully they don't have to, and hopefully if they do, it's only for a brief period of time. Then you start looking at outfield help. And the first name that jumps out has got to be Peter O'Brien with the way he's played at Reno. But there's a number of ways you could go. Socrates Brito has not hit in the minor leagues this year. Chip Hale said the other day Brito has to get it going. Trevor Story reaches up and snags that one, takes a base hit away from Brandon Drury.
Like an RBI base hit into left center field that time. Drury really slowed his swing down on that off-speed delivery, and Story going top shelf.
2 down for Goldie. He has tapped back to the mound and struck out looking. Nick Ahmed, the runner at second after a leadoff double, 2 outs. Goldie leading the major leagues in walks. He has more walks than hits this year. And he has reached base safely in 43 straight games against these Rockies. But so far 0 for 2. .75 pitches for Chad Bettis, 50 strikes. He's given up only 4 hits. He has not walked a batter, and he struck out 7. And he wants to talk it over with Dustin Garneau. If you didn't see it last night, this was Goldie's 7th.
You may have heard that back in the Valley. Boy, just a majestic, towering home run deep into those bleachers in left field.
That was as high as the scoreboard out there, which is a mile high, literally. 2-1. 3 balls and a strike. And we mentioned this yesterday, what Chip Hale and the coaches want to see from Goldie is him being aggressive in the zone. If it's in the strike zone, take a cut. They don't want him chasing bad pitches or expanding that zone. They want him aggressive in the zone. Like that. He blasts it into left center field. That won't get cut off by Blackman. It'll reach the wall. Ahmed will score. And Goldie once again, Bob, has barreled one up. It's an RBI double, his 4th this year.
Yeah, we've seen it throughout this series. The first series down in Miami got jammed quite a bit, took a lot of called strikes. Same thing in Atlanta, but here in Colorado, he's been getting the barrel on the ball more often than not. Drives this one deep to center field. I think Ahmed will score easily from second base.
And Goldie has now reached base safely in 44 straight games against the Rockies. The record is held by Mike Piazza, who reached in 48 straight against Colorado. And so Goldie will have a chance to pass the Hall of Famer later this year. Jake Lamb, another run sitting out there with 2 down. I get a feeling that Goldie is this close to just going on an absolute tear. He's going to have a series here, hopefully against either the Giants or the Yankees or both, where he just puts up some stupid numbers.
Maybe both. I like both.
I'm down for that. You can see it, you can feel it. It's just kind of inching closer. Just about there, it seems. 80 pitches for Bettis, 54 strikes, 0-2 on Lamb. Go downstairs or maybe upstairs to Jody.
Guys, yes, after the home run last night, Chip Hale was quick to mention the postgame that the mechanical change that Goldie worked on with Dave Magadan and Mark Grace yesterday in the cage really worked. He wouldn't say exactly what it was, but it seems to be giving Goldie a little bit of confidence right now at the plate.
He looks good. Jake Lamb strikes out. Another slow breaking ball from Bettis, but the Diamondbacks get on the board. They trail it 5-1. D-backs trail the Rockies 5-1, and fans, the Diamondbacks are welcoming the New York Yankees back to Chase Field next week. 3-game series, May 16, 17, 18. Get your tickets now at dbacks.com. There we are down there at Coors Field. And lower downtown Denver, Charlie Blackman leads off the Rockies 6th against Evan Marshall. Blackman 2 for 3. He has homered, singled, driven in 3. A home run over the new fence out there in right center back in the 3rd, and a bloop 2-run single in the 4th. Right by EY Senior. A ball and a strike.
Evan Marshall back out there after striking out the pitcher Bettis to end a threat in the Rocky fifth. Evan just called up from AAA Reno Tuesday. And he admitted, it's hard to go down to the minors and stay motivated when you're so close to coming right back up. You try to stay ready. Because the way that Reno reliever shuttle has worked for some of these guys this year, they know it's just the phone call's coming. And you're on your way back up.
That's one of the hardest things in the game of baseball, when you've had a taste of the big leagues, had a taste of success at the big league level, and then fall on hard times, or because of roster problems you need to go back down.
Segura knocks it down. Blackman's aboard.
It's tough to go down there and maintain a good attitude, but you have to realize the only way you're going to get back to the big leagues is by pitching well.
Well, Chip Hale said the other day that of all the relievers who have been on that Reno reliever shuttle back and forth all year long, the two that he believes have been most deserving to be here are Jake Barrett and Evan Marshall, and both those guys have been victimized a bit by the Diamondbacks' need to have rested and ready relief help. And the only way to maintain that is to shuttle guys back and forth, but both Barrett and Marshall are here. And Chip said those are the guys that deserve the most to be here. Well, Blackman's got his third hit, a leadoff single. Here's Story.
What's really unfair about it for those relief pitchers that get sent down just because you need a roster spot and a healthy arm, the people you should really be mad at are the starting pitchers, the guys that work those short outings and cause you to have to reach for some healthy arms at the AAA level.
Well, had another one today with Robbie Ray, who was well over 100 pitches, but was gone with 2 outs in the fifth. Blackman holds it first. Story drives that deep to right center field. It backs up Chris Owings at the track, at the wall, and Co's got it up against that new fence. What a catch by Chris Owings out there in deep right center. Let's make that our Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning and Plumbing cool play of the game. Co keeps his cool right there.
Oh, he sure does. Used his feet to feel that warning track underneath. Knew he was getting close to the fence. Never takes his eye off the ball. And makes a great leaping catch up against the barrier.
Nicely done, Chris Owings.
Ooh, had that one right in the heel of the glove. Some of those fall out the heel of the glove, but he was able to squeeze it and make the out. Nice play.
Boy, has he done a nice job out there. Nolan Arenado. He has singled, walked, RBI double, 2 for 2, and on base 3 times. What else is new? Now in 9 games this year against the Diamondbacks, Arenado has 3 homers and 9 RBIs. It's this up in the air for Brandon Drury. Blackman at first. He's going to bluff and hold. 2 outs. Brings up Mark Reynolds, who had an RBI single in the third. He's also struck out twice. Mark Reynolds has proven to be a nice signing for Colorado to this point. He's made most of the starts this year at first base. He was out there on the open market. He said he thought the Rockies were his best chance of having a rebound year, trying to get some at-bats at this altitude. And he hasn't hit a ton of home runs. He's only got 2, but the batting average is way up there.
I get the feeling as often as Mark Reynolds puts the ball in the air in this ballpark, he will get his home runs. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
He has swung the bat very well lately. Last 18 games, he's hitting nearly 380. There's a little roller to Nick Ahmed. Underhand toss for the force. Oh, Charlie Blackman is in there. Vic Carapazza at second base says safe.
Once again,
hit real hard to shortstop.
Another play because of the shift that you put defenders in awkward positions. Gene Segura going back from that shifted position, trying to find the base while he's looking for the ball from Nick Ahmed.
Wow, was that close?
Really close.
Chip Hale looking back at the bench coach Glenn Sherlock, and they will challenge this. Alan Campbell has seen enough in the Diamondback clubhouse to merit a phone call to New York. So here we go. Diamondbacks are going to challenge the safe call at second. This is a good challenge because if they can get the call overturned, they're out of the inning. If they can't, then there are 2 on and 2 out for Ryan Rayburn. By a toe.
Ooh.
He might be in there by Sergeant Hulk's big toe.
The length of a cleat. I think obviously we've seen that play many times to end the inning. The shortstop fields a ground ball and tosses onto the second baseman covering to get that force and go on back into the dugout. But because of the pull shift, Segura was approaching the bag from an awkward angle. Nick might have been better served just to go to first base.
So the Diamondbacks lose their challenge. Safe at second is the call. And that'll put 2 on for Rayburn, who was 0 for 3. Charlie Blackmon at second, Mark Reynolds at first. Inside for ball 1. D-backs, as soon as this ball game is over, on an airplane, finally back home to Phoenix. Start of a big 4-game series tomorrow night against the Giants fans. Zach Greinke and Johnny Cueto. dbacks.com/tickets. And another great one Friday, Shelby Miller and Jeff Samardzija. That all starts tomorrow night. We'll see you at Chase Field.
Giants playing the Blue Jays this afternoon. Marcus Stroman pitching for the Jays. Madison Bumgarner for the Giants. The Dodgers and Mets play later this evening. Kenta Maeda against Noah Syndergaard.
D-backs beginning play today, only 1 game behind the Dodgers for the NL West lead. Looking for their 6th win in a row, but they trail at 5-1. Marshall behind on Rayburn, 3-0. That's out of play. What's next brought to you by CenturyLink. Look at the pitching matchups for that Giants series. Hard to start better than that. Cueto, Greinke, Samardzija, Miller. dbacks.com/tickets, and we'll see you at the ballpark. Patrick Corbin and Jake Peavy Saturday. Ruby back out there Sunday against Matt Cain. How about Cain 0-5, Peavy 1-4? They got some problems at the back end in San Francisco. This is headed toward the right center field gap. Chris Owings won't get there. It drops in. Blackmon scores. They will wave Reynolds. They got a shot at him at home plate. Here's the throw. It's offline. 7-1 Rockies. And that's exactly what you were hoping to avoid with that challenge on the safe call at second.
Down and gets a fastball, drives it to that gap in right center field, and with 2 outs in the inning, everybody's running on contact. Blackmon will score easily from second base, and Reynolds comes all the way around from first.
2-run double for Ryan Rayburn. Rockies have now out-hit the D-backs 11-5. DJ LeMahieu was walked and struck out twice.
Chop to third, short hop for Lamb. Nice scoop by Jake, and he throws him out. And that ends the inning, but the Rockies get 2 more. After 6, they lead the Diamondbacks 7-1. Steve Berthew, Bob Brenly, Jody Jackson with you. D-backs trail the Rockies 7-1 as we start the 7th. It's time now for greater coverage of baseball. It's brought to you by T-Mobile, a look around the National League West. D-backs only a game off the division lead at the start of play today. The Padres and the Cubbies 7-4. Brett Wallace, a home run for San Diego, a 3-run shot. And they'll play another one later today. Giants are hosting the Blue Jays right now. Giants come into Chase Field tomorrow night. They lead the Blue Jays 2-1. Later tonight, Syndergaard and Maeda at Dodger Stadium. That's in LA. Thor. Noah Syndergaard. Thor.
Yep. I thought you said 4. What's the significance of that?
I'll take a 4-run 7th. How about right now?
I'll take that.
Yasmani Tomas has one of the 5 Diamondback hits, a single his last time up. And Chad Bettis kind of has a way of hanging around against you, and he's done it again here today, pitching into the 7th inning. It takes a few punches to knock this guy down. He's gone at least 6 full innings in each of his last 6 starts. And once again, he's been very efficient. He is just a smidge over 80 pitches through 6 innings. He's been over 100 pitches during that span only twice. 6 straight starts going at least 6 innings. His high for the year is 114. Pitcher spot is up next for the Diamondbacks after the double switch, and Ricky Weeks Jr. is in the on-deck circle. Bettis right now only 85, 86 pitches. There's Ricky. Base hit, Yasmani bangs it into center. He's 2 for 3. Need some base runners here. Ricky Weeks Jr. That's what the old card looks like in the dugout. They'd really like to stay away from David Peralta, Chip has told us, unless it's an absolute emergency.
Yeah, I would think the only way we would see David Peralta today is if they need a pinch runner.
Yeah.
It's something that shouldn't bother that wrist.
So you're essentially playing a man down. Ricky 5 for 17 as a pinch hitter this year. That includes 3 doubles and 3 RBIs. He's in there at 214 on the year. Right at Story, knocks it down. He can't corral it. Ricky Weeks Jr. singles. Tomas, a heads up play, and rolls into shallow center.
Oh.
And that's a Coors Field hustle double right there for Ricky Weeks Jr. All that no man's land out there in the shallow portions of the outfield. The immense size of this ballpark creates a lot of hits like that.
Yes, it does. And both Rockies infielders, Story after he dove for the ball and LeMahieu went to cover second base, they both just kind of stood there and watched Charlie Blackmon run all the way in from center field to make that play. That gave Tomas a chance to advance to third and Weeks on to second.
Just what you're looking for, down 7-1. Here's Chris Herman, who so far is 0 for 2. Nice base running by both Yasmani and Ricky on that play. Well, he's been a nice addition, done a really nice job, Ricky Weeks Jr. Let's see if Babe Herman can get into one here. Last 9 games for Chris, hitting .370 with 4 homers and 11 RBIs. Rockies have the shift on. They overload the right-hand side. Good take right there, a ball and a strike. That's going to find a gap and roll to the wall. Chris Herman knocks in 2. Tomas scores, Weeks scores, and Herman has a 2-run double.
You can't stop him, you can only hope to slow him down.
The Babe.
He goes down and gets a cutter down below knee level and hooks it back to that gap in right center field. That aggressive base running by the Diamondbacks, the first 2 hitters in this inning, gave Herman a chance to drive in 2 with that ball in the gap.
Chris Herman, Steve Foster, the pitching coach, will pay a mound visit now. What an addition he has been. Let's go down to Jody.
We talked a lot about the addition of Chris Herman, Dave Stewart picking him up in the offseason, but one thing I was talking to Chris about today is he was saying he's not a guy that likes to show a lot of emotion. Part of that was being with the Twins organization, that's kind of their style, but he's really having a lot of fun right now. In fact, more than he's ever had in his career, he said, whether it's driving the bus or what we just saw from him, the big smile. In fact, after he hit that big homer at Chase, he said a fan actually said the best thing about that home run, and it was great, was just to see you smiling coming around the bases.
He's been all smiles lately, that's for sure. Here's Chris Owings, a roller to second. LeMahieu has it, and Herman moves into third. Well, we like to call him Babe Herman because back in the day of the Brooklyn Robins, Babe Herman was a left-hand hitter who played some right field and was one of the most feared power hitters in the game. So we've adopted the Babe nickname for Chris Herman.
Seems to fit.
And the more we call him Babe, the more he hits, it seems, so we'll have to keep it up.
Here comes Babe Ahmed.
Exactly. Doubled and scored his last time up.
We'll call them all Babe if that's what it takes.
Exactly. I got you, Babe. They say our love won't pay the rent. Ahmed came into the ballgame midway through after a double switch, so he's 1 for 1. Nick hits that sharply into left field. Here come the Diamondbacks. Ahmed going to stop at first. Herman scores, and it's 7-4. Nick Ahmed 2 for 2, the RBI single. And they may want to get Chad Bettis out of there. He appears to have hit the wall.
Babe Ahmed with a base hit into left field. Babe Segura making his way to the plate.
And here comes Walt Weiss. That's 2 hard hit balls by Nick. The first, 4 of the first 5 D-backs hitters in this inning have base hits. Don't go anywhere. It's a Coors Field ball game. D-backs back within 3.
7-4 ball game in the 7th, and fans, you can customize your own D-backs ticket package with a D-backs mini plan. You can choose from big games, including the upcoming Yankees series that starts on Monday, or the Dodgers series in June. How about All-American weekend in July? It's up to you. You can customize your own plan. Join the evolution. Get your tickets now at dbacks.com, and we'll see you at the ballpark. This thing's getting awfully exciting here. Changes for the Rockies. New pitcher Carlos Estevez, the right-hander, his 9th appearance this year. The ERA just about 5.5. Carlos Gonzalez will check in. He'll take over in right field, and Gerardo Parra goes from right to left, replacing Ryan Rayburn. So the pitcher spot is now 5th in the Rockies order. Gonzalez will bat 9th. Here's Segura. Two. Yasmani Tomas led off this inning with a single up the middle. Ricky Weeks Jr. a hustle double. Chris Babe Herman a 2-run double. Owings grounded out to move Herman to third. Ahmed single. Now here's Segura, who strikes out. Estevez not messing around.
Well, he's got a big arm. Occasionally he can spray it around. He's now struck out exactly as many as he's walked this season. Average fastball about 95, has a little slider to go with it.
Brandon Drury lined out to shortstop his last time up as Trevor Story jumped up and snagged what would have been a certain RBI double. Took a base hit away from Brandon, who's 0 for 3. You notice when Estevez came into the ballgame, they played the Wild Thing song because Charlie Sheen played Ricky Wild Thing Vaughn in the movie Major League, and he's kind of an Estevez, and so
I get you. I thought it was more just the fact that he was wild.
Well, it is there. 2 birds, 1 stone. 2-0 on Drury. That's going to reach the seats. Diamondbacks trying to get back in this. They're back within 3. Now with 9 hits. This is out to Cargo in right field. And that's the end of the inning, but the D-backs get 3. We stretch at Coors Field at 7-4, Colorado.
Rockies lead the D-backs 7-4. The momentum on the part of the good guys, however. Hey, D-backs fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can now stream games live on your mobile device. Just go to your app store and download the free Fox Sports Go app, log in, and stream the D-backs wherever you go.
This game's starting to get a little Coors Field-y. And the new pitcher for the Diamondbacks is the rookie lefty Zach Curtis. 3 big league appearances so far for Zach. He last worked Sunday in Atlanta. So far, 1 hit, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts in 2 2/3. Up here from A-ball of Visalia Rawhide, where he was pitching for J.R. House down there. Now here he is in the big league. Some defensive changes behind him. Brandon Drury has come out of the ball game after Brandon made the last out at the top of the inning. Yasmani Tomas will move from left field over to right field, replacing Drury, and Ricky Weeks Jr., who pinch hit that last inning, will take over in left. So here we go. Gerardo Parra 3 for 3, a double, 2 singles. He has scored a run. He'll lead off the Rockies 7th against Zach Curtis. Parra has 7 hits in the series, including 4 doubles. There's a strike, 0-1. What have you seen so far from young Zach Curtis?
He's one of those guys that has a fast arm. You know, obviously his size, some people would say work against him. I think it really helps him. His release point is so much lower than your average pitcher at the major league level. Really kind of sneaks up on you. Fastball, very explosive when he keeps it down in the zone. Showing a good slider.
5'9", 192. He's 23 years old. He'll be 24 in July. How do you describe that arm angle? Is it crossfire? It's not conventional, certainly.
He does throw across his body a little bit. I'd probably call it low 3/4. You know, occasionally he'll get his arm a little bit higher, get a little more cutting action on his fastball, but generally he's around low 3/4.
This is a young man who pitched at Hillsborough, was a lockdown closer at Kane County, just sensational last year. And now here he is in Coors Field.
That's what happens when you do good.
Pitched collegiately at Middle Tennessee State. Full count, 3-2. There's a high chopper to Segura at second base, and they finally retire Parra.
Yeah, you rarely see a pitcher make the jump from A-ball to the big leagues. I think more than just his stuff, it speaks to his makeup, his aggressiveness. He's not afraid out there on the mound, not afraid to challenge hitters at the big league level in the strike zone. He believes his stuff is good enough to get these guys out. I mean, there's a lot of guys with good stuff pitching in A-ball right now, but if you ask their farm director, is this guy ready for the big leagues? Oh, no, he's not ready for that quite yet. But
How do you determine the difference?
Well, you have to be around a guy. You have to know his work habits. You have to know what makes him tick. Watch him struggle. See how he reacts when he struggles as opposed to when things are going good. And apparently all indications for Zach Curtis was he's a guy that was ready for the big leagues.
So it's as much about makeup as it is stuff then.
Well, it helps to have the good stuff,
right.
No question about that. But sometimes you can have the good stuff, but not the mental makeup to come up here and do what you have to do to be successful.
Do you think things like makeup and guts and clutch get left out in this new sabermetric universe?
Yeah, I think sometimes, which is why it's a good thing there's just enough old timers left around that can evaluate what makes a guy have guts, or have huevos, or whatever you want to call it. Somebody that's not afraid to go out there and do what they have to do to win a ball game.
Onions, as Bill Raftery likes to say.
Go.
Right by him.
There's some, call it swagger if you want, whatever you want to call it. It's confidence in your own ability, confidence in your own stuff.
Well, so far in his professional career, Zach Curtis should have a lot of reasons to be confident. Last year at Kane County, 33 saves, a 1.33 ERA in the Midwest League. Had a couple of saves for J.R. House at Visalia in the Cal League before he was called up. And he strikes out Garneau, 2 up, 2 down. For more on Zach Curtis, here's Jody.
Well, Dave Stewart was talking about this yesterday. He actually gave credit to Mike Bell, the director of player development for the Arizona Diamondbacks. His name came up, and Dave Stewart said we're looking for a left-handed guy. He said, how about Zach Curtis? The other thing that opened some eyes, you guys mentioned it. Steve, you mentioned the numbers. They were off the charts at every level. And then, Bob, you mentioned the makeup, and Dave Stewart, well, he called it guts. In fact, he used that exact word yesterday. But his name came up in trade talks in the offseason, and that was something that really opened some eyes for Dave Stewart.
Well, I'm sure after the year he had at Kane County last year, they got a lot of phone calls on this young man. He was sensational. Well, here's Cargo, checked into the game after a double switch, so he's batting in the 9th spot. His first at bat, 306 and 4 homers. And this is a guy who does not hit lefties. That's why he was not in the starting lineup against Robbie Ray. Hit 195 against left-handers last year.
And just one other footnote on Zach Curtis, a guy that's been a closer, so he's had to face righties and lefties. He hasn't been pigeonholed as a left-handed specialist. He's had to pitch to whoever comes up there in that 9th inning, righty, lefty, power hitters, slap hitters, doesn't matter. So he's got a little more well-rounded arsenal. He can attack righties and he can attack lefties.
Center field, CO hesitates, comes in a bit. And nice job, Zach Curtis. Coors Field's nothing. 1, 2, 3. D-backs down 3. The D-backs 8th inning. Time for the Jimmy John's delivery of the game, and Goldie delivered big time in the 6th. He blasted an RBI double to dead center field. And once again, he started barreling up those balls a lot more often. The RBI double. His 700th career hit. 700 career base hits for Goldie, who leads off the 8th against Estevez. D-backs have been out hit 11-9. They trail at 7-4, trying to come back here at Coors after a 3-run 7th. Goldie's RBI double, part of that. Or that was in the 6th, pardon me. Herman had a 2-run double in the 7th, and Nick Ahmed an RBI single. Got some heavy clouds overhead right now, no big deal. Patches of blue sky here and there. A little hesitant there from Goldie. Lays off that one, 2-2. Carlos Estevez called up from AAA Albuquerque near the end of last month. Goldie shoots one fair down the right field line. He will take the turn at head for second. His second consecutive double. And the Diamondbacks have the leadoff man on here in the 8th.
Real defensive swing in the 2-strike count. High velocity fastball up and out over the plate. He barrels it right down the first baseline. Good start.
Here comes Walt Weiss. A slow walk to the mound. Rockies bullpen has been busy, and he's going to go make a change right here. So the Diamondbacks just got 3 in the 7th, threatening again here in the 8th. Don't go anywhere. Back from Denver after this. Here in the 8th inning, they trail it 7-4. Goldie on board after a leadoff double. And the new pitcher for the Rockies, the veteran lefty, Boone Logan, who has worked scoreless baseball in 11 of his 14 appearances this year, a 2.25 ERA.
Fastball slider combination for Boone Logan. Fastball will sit in the low to mid 90s. Pretty much a 50-50 split between fastballs and sliders.
Well, Jake Lamb going to get a big at bat right here against a left-hander. The Rockies will put the shift on. They took away 2 base hits from Jake last night with this overshift. He's up there with Goldie at second after the leadoff double. Jake so far 0 for 3, has struck out twice. D-backs couldn't get anything done against Chad Bettis through the first 6 innings, really. At one point, Bettis retired 12 straight, but now they're into this Rocky bullpen. 0-1. Story, the shortstop, on the first base side of second, right behind second base umpire Vic Carapazza. Swing and a miss, and Jake down 0-2. Another veteran reliever out there for the Rockies. That's the right-hander Chad Qualls. 1-2 on Lamb.
D-backs trailed it at one point after 4 innings, 5-0. They were down 7-1 after 6. And once again trying to use the Rockies' home ballpark against them. Colorado has lost 7 straight here. 7 straight home losses, only the second time in their 22 seasons in this ballpark that's happened. And this one threatening to get away from them again. 1-2 to Lamb. 2-2.
Boy, that is barely a stop out there by Boone Logan. The last 2 pitches he very nearly balked. I think Paul Goldschmidt's talking to second base umpire Vic Carapazza about that very fact. Spikes this slider in the dirt out there. Garneau, nice job to block it and keep it in the vicinity.
He's got to come set, right?
Yeah, there has to be some kind of a pause. It used to be a full second. It's not that anymore, but you do have to come to a discernible stop.
2-2. Just did get a piece.
That time a check on the runner, so he came to a very distinctive stop that time. But on the 2 previous pitches, just looking at home the whole way, went into his set position and just kind of glided right into his delivery.
Boone Logan been around a long time, 529 career appearances. That is 16th most among all active pitchers and 4th most against amongst left-handers. He's worked it full on Jake Lamb, 3-2. As Manny Tomas on deck, Ricky Weeks after that. Jake down, 0-2 is pulled to Goldie. The count is full. Rockies will keep the shift on here with a full count. There's a little tapper back to the mound. Logan almost threw it away. Goldie advances to third. That's the first out in the 8th. And Walt Weiss is going to match up now with the right hand hitting Yasmani Tomas coming up. He'll go to his right-hander Chad Qualls. Another pitching change at Coors Field. Back right after this. Now 7-4, threatening more here in the 8th, and the new pitcher for the Rockies, the 12-year veteran. His first season in Colorado, his 9th different team. It's the former Diamondback Chad Qualls, who has pitched really well lately out of this Colorado bullpen. His 15th appearance this year. He has pitched scoreless baseball in his last 9 outings, and over that stretch has given up just 1 hit.
He's kind of the right-handed version of Boone Logan, sinker slider guy. Doesn't throw nearly as hard as Logan. His fastball usually sits around 90, maybe a little above that. Ground ball specialist when he's keeping it down.
They've really tried hard to build a bullpen here in Colorado. They went out and gave Boone Logan some money a couple of years ago, and now they brought in Qualls. They traded for their closer, Jake McGee, so they're trying to piece something together back there. Diamondbacks down 7-4, 1 out, 8th inning. Goldie at third after a leadoff double. 1 away for Yasmani Tomas. Tomas has singled his last 2 times up. Yasmani, a big return to the lineup last night after sitting out the previous 4 games with a stiff neck. On base 4 times, 3 hits and a walk. He doubled, scored a run. His second multi-hit game on this road trip after he sat out the entire series in Atlanta over the weekend. Drive this one to Blackmon in center field, and he won't get there. Goldie will score. 7-5 ball game. Tomas pulls in with an RBI double, and the Diamondbacks will get the tying run to the plate with a 1 out in the 8th. El Tanque, his second straight 3-hit game.
Got some backspin on this one. A slider over the heart of the plate. Drove it to straightaway center field. Blackmon just kind of froze for an instant and then broke back. Couldn't get there in time.
Well, this ballpark, what a fit it's been for Yasmani Tomas in his brief career here at Coors Field. He is 14 for 29. That's 5 runs.
That's tacos.
Giddy up. So the Diamondbacks coming back here. Down at 1 point, 5-0 and 7-1. They pulled it within 7-5. Ricky Weeks Jr. doubled his last time up. Each team now with 11 hits. Boy, that one got Dustin Garneau back there. 1-1 count on Weeks Jr. Oh, that foot. Ugh.
You see those extensions on the shin guards to reach out there and cover the toe. I wish I would have had those.
You got any toes left?
No.
Not really. 1-1. Center field for Blackmon going back at the track. He's got room. He's got a beat on it. He catches it for the second out. Tomas will tag and head for third. Ricky gave it a ride. That sure sounded good.
Yeah, I was just going to say it sounded like it was going to carry a little farther than that, but as it is, chases Blackmon to the 4:15 mark to make the play. Heads up base running that time by Tomas. When he saw that Blackmon was going to make the catch, he went back to tag up and advances on to third base.
Almost no wind out there right now. The flags above the rock pile in dead center field are dead still at the moment. So Ricky didn't get any help from the wind. Here's Chris Herman with Tomas at third and 2 down. A 2-run double his last time up.
I think a lousy single right here.
I bet you. Shift is on for the Rockies. He gets it up in the air, high and deep right center field. Blackmon in that corner. It's carrying. He won't get there. Tomas scores. Herman is coming around third. It's rolling on the track, and Matt Williams puts on a big stop sign. The Babe is at it again, driving the bus, and the Diamondbacks are back within 1. The tying run is 90 feet away.
Wow. Second ball in a row that Charlie Blackmon may have misplayed out there in center field. Herman puts a charge on it to the deepest part of right center field. Blackmon got all kinds of turned around out there and just misses that ball. Hits off his leg and goes past Cargo back toward right field. The whole time Herman is motoring around the bases. Yeah, took a bus ride from home plate around to third.
Chris Herman had an RBI triple in Monday's game. Today he's got a 2-run double and another RBI triple. And if Chris Owings can come up with a base hit right here, we'll be all tied up. Over the mound, here comes LeMahieu. He's got to hurry. CO beats it out. Tie ball game. Herman scores. The Diamondbacks down 5-0 and 7-1 have tied it at 7 here in the 8th.
Absolutely the right guy to hit that trampoline ball off of home plate.
You bet.
Chris Owings just streaking down that first baseline, smelling a base hit and an RBI if he can just beat this out, and he does.
Well, as Brandon Webb always likes to say, these are the never say Diamondbacks.
That's right.
And they have come back. They've now out-hit the Rockies 13-11, and we have a whole new ball game at Coors Field. 3 in the 7th, 3 more in the 8th. It's 7-7. Wow. Three in the 7th, now 3 more in the 8th. In this inning alone, they have a Goldie double, a Tomas double, a Herman triple, a big infield single by Chris Owings. And this is what Walt Weiss's card is looking right. He's looking like he's starting to run out of guys here.
Yeah, he thought he had this set up well to go with his A relievers to finish this one out, but it kind of backfired on him today. Boone Logan came in to get the one out of Jake Lamb, but then Chad Qualls got blown up there. 3 hits in the 4 batters he faced.
Gonzalez Herman, who gave up Goldie's moonshot home run last night, is back in there today. His 10th appearance, a 2.70 ERA. 2 outs and Owings, the runner at first. Here's Nick Ahmed, who was 2 for 2, a double, an RBI single. He scored a run. And this Rockies team, which has lost 7 straight home games here, has blown a 7-1 lead. It was 5-0, then it was 7-1. 3 in the 7th, now 3 more in the 8th. Nick had a good night at the plate last night, had an RBI single, scored a run, walked twice. Now 2 for 2 here today. So his bat has really come around on this road trip. 2-1.
Pitch selection has been a lot better on this road trip than it had been before, when he was really struggling, chasing a lot of breaking balls out of the zone, a lot of fastballs up out of the zone. Been a little more disciplined on this road trip.
He's off that one. 3 balls and a strike.
Diamondbacks dugout giving it to Gene Segura. He thought that was ball 4. He was headed up to the plate. They're running up there to take their at bats.
Coors Field will do that to you. Three and 2 on Nick. Boy, the D-backs could not get anything for the most part against the starter Chad Bettis, who at one point retired 12 straight, then seemed to fatigue a little bit. They got to him in the 6th, and then in the 7th. Walt Weiss tried to avoid going to the bullpen as best he could, and we found out why. 3-2. There goes CO. Swing and a miss. Ahmed strikes out, but the Diamondbacks put up 3 more. And as we head to the home half of the 8th inning, it's a brand new ball game at Coors Field. Diamondbacks going for the 3-game sweep. They have come back to tie it at 7.
Started all tied up at 7 as we head to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Hey, fans, plan ahead and get the kids to some upcoming Kids Sunday games. Sunday games are perfect for the family and start at 1:10 this Sunday, May 15th. Kids can take home the youth T-ball set courtesy of MLB Play Ball. And this year's back-to-school game is July 17th. Be here to take home the one-of-a-kind backpack featuring the new uniform teal courtesy of Smile Generation. Get tickets at dbacks.com.
Bottom 8 here in what is now a 7-7 ball game, and the new pitcher for the Diamondbacks, the veteran right-hander Tyler Clippard, with 15 appearances this season, gave up 3 hits and a balk in his last appearance. That was Monday here at Coors Field, but only 4 runs allowed in 15 innings. A 2.40 ERA. A work to the top of the order. Charlie Blackmon will lead it off. Blackmon with 3 hits, a home run and 2 singles. He has knocked in 3 and scored 3 times. Oh, and 2.
Blackmon hot right now. He's hitting 9 straight. 13 hits during that 9-game streak, including 3 doubles and 2 home runs. I see the St. Louis Blues have a fan back there. I'm told they have a Game 7 tonight. In fact, there are 2 Blues fans.
What sport is that?
I'm not sure. Lacrosse? He's got a Chris Pronger jersey, or sweater, as I should say. I don't want Todd Walsh to get mad at me. A fly ball to center. CO came in. It's drifting on him, still drifting, and he runs it down. Chris was coming in on that ball. It did get up in some wind, which has started blowing hard now across the field, right to left, and it carried the ball that way on him.
Speed. It's a wonderful asset for an outfielder.
That was not blowing at all just a few minutes ago, but now it's gusting pretty good up there. And here's Trevor Story. Story in the 3rd, singled, stole a base, and scored a run. He's 1 for 4. He leads the National League in strikeouts, and he struck out once back in the 4th inning. And that's a lot of strikeouts for a young career. Old check swing roller, that'll work. Right to Goldie. Excuse me, that's out number 2. They'll take it. We're mentioning that Trevor Story, in his first 151 plate appearances this year, has struck out 50 times. Bob Brenly, during his All-Star season back in 1984, it took you 567 plate appearances to strike out 52 times.
Really?
And Story has come close to matching you in about 1/5 of the number of plate appearances. That's your All-Star card from '84.
Can I renegotiate retroactively?
Well, we'll get back to you on that. The great Dan Hyatt doing some research work on that one. Here's Nolan Arenado, who has singled, walked, and doubled. He's got an RBI.
Yeah, one thing you noticed on that baseball card, we were talking about the shin guards. Look at my toes, just hanging out there waiting to get hit by a foul tip.
I see that hand is not behind you, though.
I wasn't completely set up there.
Right.
I was just moving into position.
Now, how's that protection there?
That's pretty good right there. Of course, when you start moving around and, pointing your toes out a little bit and the heels in, it exposes the instep. You can't protect everything, but they sure have tried with the new catcher's gear.
D-backs have the shift on the left-hand side for Nolan Arenado. Segura, the second baseman, on the shortstop side of the bag. Lamb right on the line at 3rd. How's that changeup look?
Wow. That's one of the more awkward swings you'll ever see Nolan Arenado take.
That's how Tyler Clippard gets you out. Fastball changeup. Diamondbacks in the 9th inning will have the top of the order due up. You got Segura, then the pitcher spot, which is 2nd, and then Goldie. And the only guys on the bench left are David Peralta, who they absolutely want to stay away from with that bad wrist, and Wellington Castillo, who's the only other catcher. 2-2. This one is belted deep left field corner. And gone. Nolan Arenado, the major league leader. That's his 13th, and it's 8-7 Rockies. That's his 4th home run this year in 9 games against the Diamondbacks.
Boy, after that awkward looking swing earlier in the sequence, there's nothing awkward about this one. Tyler Clippard with that split finger changeup just kind of flutters up there, doesn't really take the downward movement that we're used to seeing, and Nolan Arenado rips a line drive right down that left field line.
Arenado now a triple shy of the cycle. He's also walked, he's knocked into. Mark Reynolds. There's a pop-up foul ground. It's going to get behind the dugout and out of play.
away from the shift, and it rolls into right center. Reynolds' second hit today.
We don't know if it'll last all season, but that's one of the biggest changes for Mark Reynolds coming over here to the Rockies. Trying to hit the ball all over the place, make a little more contact, strike out a little less, even if it means the home run numbers might suffer over the long haul. That time hit it right where the second baseman would normally be standing had there not been a shift on.
Starting to get some trickle-down raindrops here, and they'll head for cover behind the Rocky dugout. Ben Paulson hitting for the pitcher. Pitcher spot 5th in the Rockies order. He rolls that one away from the shift. Reynolds will stop at second.
Consecutive shift beaters right here. I don't think this was intentional on the part of Ben Paulson. He just kind of shot it over that way accidentally, but rolls through for a base hit.
Brings up DJ LeMahieu. 2 on, 2 out, a run in on the Arenado homer. LeMahieu is 0 for 3. He has walked and struck out twice. "15 runs and 27 hits. Welcome to Coors." Reynolds at second, Paulson at first. Tyler ahead 0-2. Rockies have their closer warming up in the bullpen, the left-hander Jake McGee. LeMahieu shoots it the other way, but that one is foul. Just couldn't quite keep it fair. And that's his bread and butter right there.
Yeah, it sure is. LeMahieu is so accustomed to hitting that ball down that right field line. He had a little body English that time as he came out of the batter's box and started down the line. He ended up way over on the infield there trying to wish that ball fair.
That's a reverse Pudge Fisk right there. Still 0-2. This is close to the seats. Goldie will give it a look, and it's out of play. Diamondbacks in the top of the 9th inning will have Segura and Goldie wrapped around the pitcher spot. Now that's a Charlie Blackmon-esque beard right there. The old Garrett Atkins jersey.
Pretty happy about catching that foul ball.
I would say so. Playable for Herman. And the Rockies strand two, but they get a big one on the Arenado homer. Ninth inning on the way. Diamondbacks down one. The Gila River game summary. Diamondbacks trailed this one at one point at different points, 5-0 and 7-1, but 3 in the 7th and 3 in the 8th tied it up. Nolan Arenado, a solo homer with 2 outs in the home half, has made it 8-7 Rockies, and now here we are with the Rockies closer on to start the 9th inning. It's the left-hander Jake McGee, who has converted 8 of his 10 save opportunities this year. He blew his second save of the season Saturday at San Francisco. You see the ERA. It's 5.40, but 5 of those 7 earned runs came in one outing. That was back near the end of April against the Dodgers. They traded outfielder Corey Dickerson to Tampa Bay to bring in Jake McGee and be their closer, and he's got a big opportunity to nail down a save right here and snap what is a 7-game home losing streak for the Rockies, as the Diamondbacks will try and keep this thing going with Segura to lead off the 9th. Pitcher spot is due up next. It's second in the order after a couple of double switches, and Wellington Castillo is in the on-deck circle. So against the left-hander McGee, it's Segura, Castillo, Goldie in the Arizona 9th. Segura doubled to lead off the ball game. He's 1 for 4. There's a strike, 0-1. One and two.
McGee throws hard, low to mid 90s, but he's very fluid with his delivery. This is one of those guys where hitters say the ball seems to jump on him. Doesn't look like he's exerting a lot of effort out there, but the ball really explodes out of his hand.
Arno can't corral the foul tip, and Segura stays alive. Jake McGee, a very effective relief pitcher in Tampa Bay for Joe Madden. 19 saves 2 years ago, worked primarily as a setup man.
Missed inside at 95, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Gene Segura with Wellington Castillo on deck. Wind has died down a little bit. It's still blowing pretty well across the outfield, right to left toward the left field corner. 2-2. Segura with his first inning double, leading the major leagues in hits. He's got 50 on the year. And 3 hits last night. He's hit safely in 9 straight. Foul just over the head of Matt Williams down there. Got him.
Elevated fastball, sneaky quick by Jake McGee. I mean, the radar gun readings are consistently mid-90s, but I guarantee you the hitters will say it looks faster than that.
Too fast for Segura that time. Here's Wellington Castillo to hit in the pitcher's spot. 317 and 7 homers. He is 5 for 10 in this series, including a pair of doubles. He has had a very hot road trip. Ball 1. Wellington has hit safely in all 6 games he's played on this trip, all starts. 11 hits and 7 RBIs in those 6 games on the trip. He's ahead, 2 balls and no strikes. Goldie on deck. He has doubled his last 2 times up. That's a strike, 2-1. Missed at 95, and Beef Wellington ahead, 3 balls and a strike. Broken bat. It backs up Parra. He just missed it. He just missed it. You're going to hear the bat shatter up here.
A good approach, got a good pitch to hit right there, something he was looking for. Put a good swing on it, just got down near that trademark enough to take some of the sting out of it, and it died on that warning track.
So it's up to Goldie, an RBI double in the 6th. He doubled and scored his last time up in the 8th, 2 for 4. If he can pull the ball and get it up in that wind, it might carry out of here. Not that he needs it, especially considering the one he hit here last night. But it is blowing out to left. He got it up in that wind. Parra's going to come in, though.
And the Diamondbacks drop the series finale here, 8-7, as the Rockies avoid a sweep. And they snap a 7-game home losing streak here at Coors Field. But the Diamondbacks take the series. And they head back home now. I would think, Bob, feeling pretty good about things.
Yeah, they should feel pretty good about things. This road trip got started really badly down in Miami, but they came back in Atlanta, took care of business against an undermanned team, and then came in here to Coors Field, and the offense woke up. Unfortunately, a bad start by Robbie Ray today put him kind of behind the 8 ball. Had to come back all day long.
So they finished 5-4 on the 9-game road trip. All things considered, you'll take that. 8-7 the final here as they can't close out the sweep, but now it's back home to start a big homestand against the Giants and the Yankees. San Fran in for the first of 4 tomorrow with Greinke against Cueto. D-Backs Live, presented by CenturyLink, is next. Reaction from the clubhouse. Much more from Coors Field on the way on Fox Sports Arizona. D-Backs drop the finale here, 8-7. Back with much more coming up next.